Okay, so good morning, everybody. Or good afternoon. Parshas Bo is the big one. I think I said it every week, but Parshas Bo is kind of the real turning point. Jewish people, this awareness, this turning point where they go from like literary Goyim to kind of leaving Mitzrayim and getting this awareness. And the nations also, Paro kind of gets this awareness as well. Beep, and they let them go. So we'll talk about a little bit about Das, talk about this awareness the past couple of weeks, and the Marnaim hits it home every week. I guess I don't know about next week, but at least the past few weeks, this awareness. Yidatem, no Hashem. Hashem is in the world. There is Hashem. I don't believe Hashem. All these ideas that Paro has to go through, that Jews have to go through as well. It's not just something that's in the book. But we have to remember this every day of our lives, several times a day. We have to kind of have this awareness because we lose that, unfortunately. But yes, sore throat. So thanks for picking that up. The idea of this sleep. Let's start there. This came about in this parsha. We know that Max Bechoros, he gets up in the middle of the night. Paro has this idea that he can't sleep. He has to get rid of the Jews that moment. The other miracles, the other Nisim, it probably bothered Paro at night. Maybe he couldn't sleep, but this idea of getting up in the middle of the night is something that we see is very unique. There's also an idea of sleep when it comes to the Seder. So in Biederman's little pamphlet, Wellsprings of Torah, there at Parsha, talks about that a person at Seder night, we talk about Hashem until you fall asleep. So the mitzvah Sibram Mitzrayim, some people say Shir Shirim all night, some people are up all night. My brother and my son once stayed up all night, but then Moshe couldn't get up for the morning the next day, or it was late or something. Forgot what it was. So, but there's an idea to stay up as late as you can and talk about Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim, the biggest night of the year. So what's this? There's two ideas of sleep. And he says that this idea of sleep is one is when you get up in the morning, you're kind of waking up, and the first thing you do is recognize Hashem. Get this das. And the second idea that Rabbi Biederman mentions of sleep is having this shalom, this awareness that Hashem will take care of you. You can go to sleep, and you get up the next day, and you'll be fine. Which is, we think about it like, what's the big deal? But there's millions of people right now all over the world that don't know if they're going to see the next day, whether it's Iran, whether it's places in Ukraine. People have no idea what's going to happen. And even more common is friends amongst us. Some people, they can't sleep. One guy was in shul early this week. He says, working, I got up, I couldn't sleep. And some people have job issues, parnas issues, health issues, troubles. But if you have this awareness that Hashem is in the world, running the world, controlling the world, then you could sleep better. I'm sleeping fine. So Pesach night, we have this idea. If we really internalize the lesson of Pesach, Shimurim, you don't have to lock the door. You're totally in the zone. So and what's interesting, I noticed this week, is that both pieces are tied to Shema. We say Shema in the morning to kind of say we want to get Das of Hashem to take us to the day. And towards the end of the day, we say Shema to acknowledge Hashem, awareness that we're able to go to sleep, and hopefully we could stay asleep by having the idea of Hashem. And it's two opposite times of the day we have Shema in both these areas. One is to wake up spiritually. We have this Das. And the end of the day is sleep with the moon, this awareness of Hashem. Now, it's interesting. We had this in the Gemara a few weeks ago in our fancy Gemara class. Barachas Abba Binyamin. Every day, I was careful to sleep close to the bed. To daven close to the bed. The Gemara says close to the bed. So the Gemara says, calm down. The time of bed. So again, what is this? And he says also north and south. I would be careful that my bed would be north, not east and west. Maybe it's next to Yerushalayim. It wouldn't be kabod, east and west, north and south. But what do you mean next to the bed? You have to daven next to your bed. So Gemara says, no. The time of your bed. The first thing you do is when you're going to sleep, that's the time to daven. That's time for Marv. That's time to think about, because you're kind of taking this das to sleep. And davening as close as you can to getting up, because that's your awareness of the day. And that's the important idea, not really tied to that, even though the Gemara says lakir, daven to the kir. The idea is if you daven without das, awareness, you have the wall there, meaning it's a barrier between you and Hashem. Without this awareness of morning that I'm davening, my whole day is going to be filled with nisyonos, but I have to have Mesiras Nefesh all day, make the right decisions. That's living the day. That's starting a day with das. And that's what Shema gets us to do, recognizing Hashem, Mesiras Nefesh of Hashem. And end of the day, Ma'ariv is also Shema with das. I'm going to sleep with Amuna. I'm going to sleep with Shalom. Hashem will take care of me. And this is the idea that Moranayim has using that Gemara in Abba Binyamin in Brachas. Now back to the Parsha. We can't go more than 3 words. We're saying V'das, the first line, Vidatem K'nei Hashem. They should know Hashem. Paro is the opposite of this. Paro spends his whole life. He is the God. Even when he acknowledges there is a God, it's not strong enough to let him change things. Even when he acknowledges it's strong enough to change things, not enough to let me get him out of Mitzrayim. Even if they have their own God that they're strong enough, we have to listen to him. All these ideas is a piece of not recognizing the total package of Hashem that exists. Hashem could change nature. Hashem could take us out of Mitzrayim. And the Jews are Bechorei Hashem and not the Bechorei Mitzrayim. All this idea, this full awareness comes to fruition right now. And all of a sudden, this epiphany, midnight, right after midnight, the second after, right after Makas Bechoros, this idea now is very clear to Paro. And this is the idea that we're supposed to have. And the Ben Abachia in Sefer Kal V'chomer, which I never even knew existed until my friend Ben Ruby quoted this, but it was quoted this week in the Rabbi Biderman book, says that Harakti Kol Hayom, I kill him. David says, I kill myself every day. Well, even a total Jew who's Kiddush Hashem, dies Kiddush Hashem, that's once. Chana, her 7 sons, people in World War II, the Holocaust, Mesiras Nefesh, soldiers, once. Governor Melch saying, I kill myself every day. And the Ben Abachia says a really interesting idea is, if you face all your decisions with Mesiras Nefesh, I want to do the 7-layer cake, as Rabbi Gordon Zatzal says, my type of 7-layer cake, and I say no. Every decision I make was with awareness of Hashem, awareness of Shema. That's Mesiras Nefesh. I'm giving my soul, my idea, my awareness to Hashem in that moment. That's Mesiras Nefesh, that moment. So every time I want to look at social media, but I open a Chumash instead. I want to sleep another 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but I get up a little bit early and go to shul because I want to beat the other guy to shul. A friend of mine, not me. That's Mesiras Nefesh. So every moment that you choose to do the right thing for Hashem, that's Mesiras Nefesh. Rabbeinu Bachya says it's not just once in your life, not just once a day, but it's many times a day you could really be Mesiras Nefesh. But it comes with this awareness from Hashem. And this is what we're trying to do. And this is why Paro finally gets it. And we're supposed to get it, which is why we start the day in Tefillin, Yehuda Yachduso Shemo, one in the world. Every day with Tefillin we say this. And Shema, a couple times. We say it in Karbanos, we say it in Chakras, we say it towards the end of the day, Ma'ariv, we'll go to sleep, all the time. So not just saying, but also having this das and awareness that's Hashem in the world, and that's what separates us. Paro was forced, this das was forced on him, the Makos were forced on him, and halavai, we should have this awareness without things being forced on us. A lot of times we come to this awareness of Hashem when something tragic happens. We'll say to him, when something bad happens. We don't want that. We don't want to be like a Paro person. We want to face all our actions. We want to face all our moments, good, bad, up and down, with awareness of Hashem, and that's the Jew. They're faced to get das through punishment and through makos. Then they get this awareness. We want to get this das and awareness through good stuff, and that's how we roll. Shabbat shalom.